Hey guys, it's John Watson. I'm answering comments from our YouTube channel. And, I certainly enjoy comments that say, hey, I really appreciate, what you put out and this has been helpful. And I don't mind the comments that say, hey, you're an idiot. I mean, sometimes people use kind of strong language, but I certainly don't dispute somebody's right to disagree with me. And there are things that I did years ago that I would disagree with now. So, I may be wrong. But this was somebody, he said, this guy is wrong. This is in the context of being sued by a debt collector. You should do nothing because a second collection agency cannot sue you. So I'm not sure exactly what's meant here. It may be that you've already paid one collection agency and now you're being sued by a second one. Or maybe you were sued by one debt buyer, you paid them, and now you're being sued by a second one. And so I definitely understand the point here that sometimes a debt collector may not have the right to do what they're doing. Okay? So, like, for example, if a debt collector says, if you don't pay me today, I'm going to take all of your paychecks going forward. Well, I can't do that. They have to sue me, they have to serve me, they have to get a judgment against me. And then in Alabama, they can take about 25%. They can't take 100% of my paycheck. Well, so if they make that threat, does that mean that they literally can't do it or that they just shouldn't do it? So they could send something to the bank and say, or to the employer and say, we're entitled to 100%. That would be wrong. I would think most employers would not recognize that. But they could do that. So what about in this situation where a second agency is suing you? Well, they shouldn't be doing that. But we've had that situation. We've had the situation where our client was sued and won and then sued again by the same debt buyer or even by a second debt buyer. That second lawsuit should never happen. It's totally wrong, totally improper. So what this person is saying is, it's wrong. They can't do that. That's right, except they did it. And if we do nothing, they'll get a judgment against us. And then they can start garnishing. And you say, well, wait a minute, that's illegal for them to do that. Well, once they have that judgment, then it's a valid debt. And now we may still can sue them under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and other things for filing a bogus lawsuit. But if we do nothing and they get a judgment, they have tremendous rights against us. And these guys, I've had situations where people come to me, other lawyers come to me, and they say, look, John, my guy was sued. He never should have been sued. It was after statute of limitation, or he'd already paid this debt. I go, yeah, but there's a judgment against him. It's too late. Okay? Now, there are time limits on these things where we can attack them, but there comes a point where it's just too late. I mean, it's kind of like this in a car wreck case. Let's say that somebody sues you and you really didn't do anything wrong, but they win anyway. Well, does that mean it's an invalid judgment? No, it's a valid judgment. Maybe they shouldn't have sued you. Maybe they lied in what they said, but they still got a judgment against you. So my point is, even if a debt collector is doing something wrong, defend yourself. Fight back against it so there is no judgment, because it's a terrible position to be arguing when there's a judgment against you. You say to the judge, well, I really don't owe this. And the judge is like, well, I'm looking at a judgment right here. It says you do owe this. Yeah, but that's wrong. It's invalid. They sued me after statute of limitation. I've already been sued for this. Judge is like, there's a judgment. I'm sorry. You should have brought that up. You should have defended yourself. So I appreciate the comment here about that I'm wrong, because I certainly can be wrong on lots of things. I don't think I'm wrong on this one. And I also would like to know more context of what is meant here. But just my takeaway point for you guys is, even though it may be illegal for a debt collector to do something, don't make the mistake of confusing, well, that's illegal, so therefore it cannot happen. They do lots of illegal things that they never should do, but you still have to deal with the consequences of that. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for the comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.